to get my Twitch or my TikTok on as well. I hope you brought snacks. Get ready to ride this timeline. How's it going tonight, guys? I'm aware that it's a Friday night. You all probably have a lot of fun stuff to do. I just got back from dinner with the family. Went pretty well. I had catfish. I've never had catfish that was broiled. It was okay. Didn't really super enjoy it, I'm not going to lie. But that's kind of how life goes. Sometimes you enjoy it, sometimes you don't. I notice my one camera's a little washed out. Let me see if I can change that a little. There we go. Is that a little better? It's a little better. It still seems a little washed out. I'll figure out the lighting at some point. Right now, I'm here to discuss with you guys. A lot of the comments I get are, people say to me, oh, it's AI. Why would you keep using AI? Well, I enjoy it. It's a platform that I enjoy using. It's an art medium that I really like to mess around with. So I wanted to do something short tonight. I wanted to make sure I went live for at least a little bit, kind of discuss some stuff and let you guys know how it is. So, how I create AI photos, prompts, human judgment, and not believing the robot too much. The thing about AI is you can't fully just trust it's going to know what you want and it make it. So that's kind of what I was hoping to discuss with you guys tonight, kind of figure out how I do my stuff and everything like that. It's kind of odd. My TikTok camera is much better than the Streamlabs one, but what I'm going to do tonight is I'm probably going to work on my lighting before I raid. So, the core message for tonight is AI is powerful. AI has a lot to offer. The human idea comes first, and I pressed this on my I pressed this when I discussed visiting the Capitol the other day and the AI conference that I went to. The prompt's not some magic spell. It's not a magic bullet. It's not going to fix everything. It's not going to get you 1 billion followers. You see all these ads right now. Faceless YouTube channel. Well, I know people would say the same thing about the content I create, but it's not faceless. I literally take videos of myself, photos of myself, work with the AI to get something I feel comfortable with that still shows me, but is a little more pressed, put together, stuff like that. I'm not afraid to admit that. I do the lives, so you guys can see who I am in real life. You can see what I look like in real life. I'm not hiding. I just really love the medium. So I'm not here to talk about how I make my videos fully. That's probably going to be after I start getting a larger following. I figure I will do a huge behind the scenes thing. I may even do an AI behind the scenes thing. That would be kind of fun, like film myself discussing this and then go ahead and AI-ify it. That would make the people that hate my AI content, that would make them even more excited, right? So once again, guys, this is not magic. How I do this is not magic. Anybody can do this, and it's not expensive. It doesn't cost a lot of money. So I'm going to pull back the curtain on the images I make. That's the only step I'm going into tonight. There's a lot of other steps, and it's okay to just go one step at a time, right? So, people ask me, I've actually had this question quite a bit. People ask me, what app do you use? Oh, that's AI. What AI made that? But honestly, that's only part of the answer, part of the question. The better question is what idea were you trying to build? And did you explain it clearly enough for that tool to help? And that's really what it comes down to with AI is, were you clear enough? Because AI, they can either be super literal or they can be super just ignore everything you have to say. Everything you have to say. And it'll get stuck in a loop. And you cannot get out of that loop except to restart. And sometimes that ends up costing somebody like me a lot of money to try to make a small video or a small photo. You can't just expect the AI to get it right first time every time. And maybe at some point we'll go through and I'll be able to show you better. Now the issue is going to be TikTok people, TikTok Studio still does not want me to have a stream key because I don't have enough followers and likes and all of that. So I'm just going to explain what I do to you guys and hope that it shows through. The people on my YouTube and Twitch and TikTok, not TikTok, TikTok's the one that won't give me the stream key. The rest of you guys will get to see it firsthand as I bring it up here and show you what I do. So I'm not going to lie. I have so many different apps to help me create the videos that I create. A lot of different apps. And the ones that I really lean on for making the photos, which is the point of this discussion, is Leonardo AI, which Ray William Johnson actually caught me onto. But my favorite is ChatGPT because it has been the most reliable out of all of them. It's crazy how reliable it has gotten. So AI is power, but power needs direction. So, Andrew Ng, he famously said, AI is the new electricity. And I like that line. I like that line a lot because electricity can power a hospital. It can power a classroom. It can power your coffee maker, which I need my coffee all the time. I constantly am drinking it, decaf, regular. When you're like me, you need something to help. Or it can power a really dumb Halloween decoration like the kind you see at Spirit. But the electricity is not the point by itself. Electricity doesn't power any of that stuff unless a person built what gets powered. So that's how I see these AI photos that I make. And like I said, a lot of people hop on my videos on YouTube and they don't have anything nice to say. They'll say, you used AI. Well, no, duh. Do you think I look like a cartoon in real life? I don't. I look like a human in real life. AI is just the art platform that I use to create my content, right? So, and it's worked really well. In a month, I'm not one of these people that's saying I'm going to get 10K in a month. That's not going to happen. I've got 1,200 on my Facebook that I created about a month and a half ago. I've got about 760 on YouTube. I've got 500 or 600 on TikTok. TikTok's been harder to break through. I think it's because I'm an old dude, and old dudes don't understand TikTok. But I'm trying to understand it. So, AI gives power to the process. It does not decide the purpose. I decide the purpose. I decide what content I'm creating using ChatGPT. I decide that. I come up with the question. I come up with the prompt. Now, sometimes I can use the AI to help me come up with a better prompt. But I always have the idea. And so what a prompt really is, guys. A prompt is not just a sentence. A prompt is a creative direction. It's like being a director, a historian, a costume person, a very picky art teacher all at the same time. I've got to look at these, and there was one video I did, and I created this map, right? And somebody came on there, and they said, well, this country looks funny. It's not the right way. Well, excuse me, but I'm not an artist, and I'm not a cartographer. I didn't draw the map, and believe me, I knew it was wrong. I fought with AI. For a half an hour to get that map right. It didn't want to make it right. And it cost me like $46 to get the wrong map because I kept telling it, no, like this, no, like this. I got stuck in a loop. And that was Leonardo. Leonardo does not like to listen to you. So, what period detail should show up? Should I use a painterly type of thing? Cartoon. Should I make it look more like a comic book? What should I do? How should I make this look, right? I've got to find detail. And you'll notice all of my videos have a different art style. That's partially by choice and partially by the fact that it's hard to get it to replicate itself. Some of my favorites are my emu video, or the Jenkins ear is really my favorite. I love that art style, that fake bubbly head type people. And the Jenkins one is it is a choice video. I really like that one. The music and everything turned out so good. So like let's say I want to do a video about Joan of Arc. I say to it, and I'm gonna go for those of you in my Twitch and my YouTube. We're gonna do an example here. So I would like a photo, and I'll turn it around for you guys watching as well in a second. Photo of Joan of Arc done in a cartoon comic book style. Let's see. Bubbly. let's see. That's just the prompt that I'm using right now. We're going to see what that comes up with. I'll show it to you guys on TikTok in a minute. You guys on YouTube can already see it. So like, instead of saying, make me a picture, I'll go through what I've got on my notes in a second. But so it's going through its process right now, ChatGPT is. The user wants a photo of Joan of Arc, styled as a bubbly cartoon comic book character. I need to capture iconic traits like her short, dark bob haircut, armor, sword, or banner. I'll opt for a colorful portrait at a 4:5 ratio to match the... That's another thing. So the ratio is very important. If I'm doing a Facebook reel, a TikTok reel, a YouTube short, I have to make it 9:16. And I have to tell it that, or it'll make it some funky, weird shapes. Or if I'm doing a full-sized YouTube video, it's got to be 16:9. So this is, I'm going to show you guys real quick what it came up with. Let me turn you around. Guys on YouTube, I'm sorry, I've got to show these guys as well. Let's see if I can even figure out how to turn this around. I'll just do this. So as you can see, that's what it came up with my prompt of, I would like a photo of Joan of Arc done in a cartoon comic book style, bubbly. So let's say I really don't like that, right? I'm going to tell it I don't like it. And for you guys, I'm going to tell it that. I don't like this. It's not alive enough. Now, I'm just giving it really stupid prompts just to kind of see and show people like how it can take over, you know? So it says the user wants a more lively, bubbly. I'll aim for a more dynamic, expressive prose. A colorful, vivid character portrait will probably fit best. So it's coming up with its thing right now. I just have Joan of Arc on my mind because the other day I did one of my history facts of the day, which I release on TikTok every day. I release it on Facebook every day and on YouTube every day, which those aren't as easy to make as you'd think either. I have to create an avatar that I'm happy with of me holding my coffee mug, and it always gets the coffee mug wrong, which you'd think saying something like, use this coffee mug. It'll like, that's how I actually came up with this. It was a misprint of the one I wanted. So, this is what it came up with this time, right? It got rid of the words, which I like. I only like the word. That was the first one. And this was the second one. Now, I want to say something like, I want to use this in a 9:16 Facebook reel. And I want it to contrast better with my avatar. Now, and you guys got to remember too, like I'm learning how to do this, so my prompts aren't always perfect. And I'm actually going to give you some examples of better prompts here in a bit. And the way that I've found with AI, the best way to do it is to try it and keep trying it and keep learning and let your curiosity just, you know, it reminds me of that guy from Stranger Things, that doctor from Stranger Things, the high school teacher. He goes, we're on a curiosity voyage. Well, that's what I feel like every day when I'm doing these. It's saying that it doesn't have my avatar. It's gonna need to generalize, that kind of stuff. So I have in my notes here, and my example of my notes was probably better, but you guys know me. I rant and rave and just keep on keeping on. So my example in my notes, I actually made a whole thing of what I was supposed to say today to all of you, and I didn't stick to it at all. Which is probably why I have 0 people on TikTok and only a few on the other one. I didn't stick to what people like. So instead of saying something random like make me a picture of a Coliseum, which it probably would have just made me a picture that looked exactly like the Coliseum now, but made with AI. That's when I would say something like I did with the Joan of Arc. A bubbly, vintage, illustrated, historic poster scene of the Roman Colosseum in the 1st century. Warm golden light, crowded arena entrances, expressive, cartoon, realistic Romans in tunics. So, and I'm actually, I'm going to put both of those in here in a second and just give you guys an idea of the difference and how even that will not work perfect, especially if it's, I like that one of Joan of Arc. That's cool. I might have to do a short form or a long form of Joan of Arc and save these. So something I do, guys, is I like the 2 photos we just created. So what I'm going to do real quick before I get into this Colosseum example, I am going to go to my History Unbuttoned. I'm going to right click, New, and I'm going to create a Joan of Arc reel. Joan of Arc reel. And I'm going to save it in there. I'm going to save this one. Joan. Oops, that did not do what I wanted it to. Save image as Joan Real cheering. And then I'm going to go up here and save this other one, which I really like this one. This is probably the art style I will do for the Joan of Arc. But the problem's going to be is getting it to actually go where I need it to go, because it won't remember how it made it for me, and it will butcher it. So we're just going to do something real quick. I'm going to start a new chat, because if you don't start a new chat, it keeps this stuff kind of in its like new memory, and it is not good for when you try to create stuff. So let's just do this. I'm going to use my example that I had written down. Make me a picture of my fat fingering, of the Colosseum. And we're going to see what that comes up with and what that ends up looking like. I really wish TikTok would allow me to get that stream key so I could stream through Streamlabs to you TikTokers as well. It would be kind of cool. Really wish I could figure that out. And I will figure it out. I'm also trying to figure out if I'm actually live on YouTube right now. I don't know if I am. So reload. Go to my stuff while this is thinking. Jim Parsons is out. That's a surprise. It's not a surprise to anyone. Jim Parsons is a great actor, but it's not surprising. Your channel, live. Yeah, right now it shows me live, so yay for me. I wish more people would watch YouTube live. Or TikTok live. Or it doesn't matter. I'll get there. Let me get back to Colosseum. So this is what it gave me. I'm going to turn you guys around again. I wish I knew how to just like turn it around. That's what it gave me, guys. I mean, it's a great picture, but it's not really up my alley for the reels I make, right? So let's give it that other one I created, and I'm gonna cut and paste, because why not? A bubbly, vintage, illustrated history poster scene of the Roman Colosseum in the 1st century. Warm golden light, crowded arena entrances, expressive cartoon, realistic Romans in tunics, detailed stone arches, retro educational poster feel. I don't really like that retro educational poster feel. So we're going to go here, copy, and comic book 1980s, sharp edges, bright colors. Let's see what it says. Oh, bright colors. It'll get what I'm saying for the most part. Sometimes it doesn't take you too super literally. But this is if I do decide to do another Colosseum one, I could use something like this. So while this is showing you the difference between a bland prompt and what's going to come up with this, I'm gonna keep going with my script here. Humans are still the center, guys. We're still the center of this whole process. I have to figure out a lot of it, and right now I'm just going into the image generation, and that's just a small part of it. Fei Li warned us that there is nothing artificial about AI because humans make it and humans are affected by it. The matters for what we are doing here. That matters for what we're doing here. Even when the machine is generating the picture, the human is still responsible for the idea, the taste, the ethics, and the final call. What this does is it allows people like me, who I have no artistic sense when it comes to drawing. I suck at it. I'm terrible. I can't even make stick figures look good. I can't draw a straight line. I can't cut a straight line. I can't do anything. So this is what it came up with to kind of warm that up, right? Now, let's say I would like this same art style, but inside with Julius Caesar leading the game from his stand. Let's see what that does to get us idea. So, AI can generate the image, but it doesn't care if the image is right. It could care less if the image is right. It doesn't care if it gives you something completely off the wall. And sometimes I get mad. I'm like, you dummy, what are you doing? I said do this. And it's like, I'm sorry, I promise I'll get it right this time. And it gives me the exact same image. Or it messes it up worse, which happens a lot more than you'd like to think. So when I have these 1-minute videos, they take me hours to make. I got a beard hair in my mouth. I don't like that. but I love my beard. Sorry, guys. I know that's weird and gross. Sorry. You know, so this is where I think some AI praise gets too lazy, is people acting like the computer's the artist, the historian, the editor, and the boss. No, the AI is very talented, and the AI is very incredible, but it is not all of those things. I'm the editor. I'm the person who has to come up with the ideas, the researcher, all of it. This does help me, and it cuts down time, and it allows somebody like me to act like I actually have a team of people working with me. But you still need a human standing there saying, buddy, absolutely not. That is not what we're doing today. So, as you can see, let's say we were making that Colosseum reel. Something about Julius Caesar leading a game. Let's say we had a famous arena match that he did. I don't have any research. I'm literally making it up on the spot as I talk to you guys. So like I'm going to turn you guys on TikTok around so you can see. We started with like just a bland picture of Make Me the Colosseum. And then I gave it direction. I wanted it vintage, illustrated, bright colors, comic book feel. And then I said, I want Julius Caesar leading the game from his stand, down there. Now, it's me having to give it step by step. And if I was creating a reel about Julius Caesar, this is what I'd be doing, like step by step. And a lot of times it'll get it wrong. Like, let's say I don't think that looks enough like Julius Caesar. I will have to come up with images that people said, oh, this looks like Julius Caesar, and then start working on that more. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about my approach. I want my pictures for my videos, my cutscenes. The cutscene, by the way, is a completely different animal than the photo. I create the photo in ChatGPT. I've tried creating it in things like Leonardo and Sora. Mixed bag, my friends. Does not work at all. Those ones do not like to listen to you. And the prompts almost never, they don't get words right. They don't get hands right. They don't get eyes right. They butcher it. ChatGPT is the most powerful for creating the base image. Anyway, my approach. I want my pictures to be fun, clear, a little weird, but in the right way. Like when I did that acoustic kitty reel that I did on YouTube, how like I had the scientist implanting the thing in his ear and the kitty comes out smiling and looking half cyborg. Like I thought that turned out pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. Go back and watch that one. It was a fun one to make. I'm not trying to make museum catalog here. I'm not trying to make my photos super historically accurate. Like, no, the Titanic didn't look like a cartoon. The one reel I just made it this morning, I researched. I wake up super early and I drink coffee, play Hearthstone on my phone, and I create. The one I did this morning is I researched the chief baker of the Titanic. I had seen a meme about him somewhere random, and I was like, this dude sounds epic. So I just did a quick 1-minute video on him. And this morning I woke up, I researched about it, found a lot of what's being said about him is legend and fake. Found a lot of it, enough of it is real for it to be a super cool story. So I made that this morning, right? Now what I need to do next, I need to get on here and start creating step-by-step photos that fit that. I don't need a photo that looks exactly like that baker. I don't care. I'm probably going to try to find some stock photo of him if I can when he's older, try to reverse age it and say, put him in a chef outfit, and it's going to butcher it, and it's going to be close enough that I'm happy, right? I don't need it to be exact. And if you look at the video I just made about the dude that saved the world, the Russian dude that stopped the nuclear war, which was a really cool video and a really good video, and I have an 8-minute version of it coming out Sunday night. You'll see that it looks kind of like him, but it doesn't look exactly like him, and I'm okay with that. I don't need things to mimic straight up because people get the idea in these videos. I go for the same kind of brand, the same kind of feel. Repeated style language creates consistency, and consistency makes people recognize it's me making it. I do want to stay away a little bit. Like I try to make little differences. That way people aren't like, oh, he's just AI with everything. No, I want it to be a little different every time. So I have in here, do a live demonstration for the people. Well, I've been doing a live demonstration this whole time. So good on you. You stuck around and saw it if you did. Here's how I would build a prompt live. Start with a bad one on purpose. Oh, it wants me to it wants me to start with a bad prompt to show you guys a bad prompt. Make a medieval feast. I spelled medieval wrong. Medieval. Why am I not spelling? Medieval feast. Make a medieval feast. Let's see what it comes up with, because sometimes it comes up with some cool stuff. It says audience moment. Ask the chat what detail they would add. Food, clothes, a dog under the table, maybe a nervous monk off to the side to give it some realism, or at least what we would think would be realism. You know, we're gonna see generating a more detailed image. You know, sometimes these take a few minutes, and the thing is it depends on the time of day. Sometimes this one simple question will take 15-20 minutes to make, and I'm not kidding you, because there's a lot of people using it at that time, and that's why I like to do things in the morning. It's a little quicker. There's times where I'll play a whole Hearthstone match and get one video made, because I got to go through this step and then put it in Leonardo and come up with a prompt for that. So this is what it did, and that's not terrible, really. I mean, here, guys, it's not terrible. Okay, now it says the next step would be to ask it, do it in a great hall. But I mean, that's in a great hall. Maybe it's because I've trained this model to actually like get an idea of what I would do. Now I'm going to be kind of cool with this. Be like, nah, man. You know my art styles. I would like you to make it 1980s comic book. Sharp jawlines, bright coloring for people, and sorry, I can't see what I'm typing because my phone is in front of it, and I know I spelled people wrong. We'll back up a little. People and outfits and darker background to show the darkness of the Dark Ages. Let's just see what that comes up with. You know, this is the fun part. This is where it becomes a conversation between you, the tool, and the corrections you make. Like, what if I wanted Joan of Arc in that hall and the feast was for her? You know, it's sticking, and that's the thing too. So if you notice, I'll make sure to follow the desire for that 1980s flair, sticking to the 4:3 aspect ratio. I've never made anything 4:3 for my reels or my videos, so I'm not sure why it keeps going to that, and I don't like that, to be honest. I've actually had it ruin full videos because I wasn't paying attention, and it would just I'd make all the pictures and I'd save them in a folder, and then I'd go through and try to do it. I have to listen to my videos several times. Listen, do it. Since I don't have any TikTok people, and I'm going to be streaming on Streamlabs mostly tonight, I'm going to see what I can do to kind of not have my face so washed out. I'm going to see if maybe a little bit more... No, because what is creating that? It's that right there. It's my ring light, but it's completely washing me out. Or maybe it's the monitor washing me out. I mean, it could be. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure this out, and I don't want tonight to be a complete hot mess when I mean, it could really be my computer monitor washing me out. I just had is that better? Is it literally my computer camera or my computer washing me out? It could be. Let's get back to doing what we're doing. I'll figure it out at some point. Lighting is the killer of most videos. So I don't really like the style that this just made it. You guys can see it there. I'm going to turn it around so you can see what it created. So when I asked it to create me a medieval feast, it did this, which is kind of cool, but it's a little too realistic for my videos. And I had it do this. That looks like, I don't know if you guys remember that Arthur cartoon from the newspapers back in the day. That's what that looks like to me. Make it a little more bubbly, like this photo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it an example. I find that if I'm really looking for a certain style, I've got to do that. My dissertation stuff. I've been working pretty hard on that lately. Yeah, let's look for the Joan of Arc one. Joan of Arc reel. And I'm going to tell it to make it more like this one because I really liked this one. And we'll see what it does. Because sometimes it'll get me correct there. It'll do it nice for me. So, here's what I did, guys, for you TikTok people. I'm really hoping I get that stream key at some point. You know, I'm not a big fan of that. It looks too much like that Arthur cartoon back in the day. And every time I saw it, or the Barbarian, Conan the Barbarian, I told it I wanted to look a little more like my Joan of Arc one. And it says I need to keep in mind and want a little more bubbly like the photo. Not a full anime style. They still want the sharp lines, but something livelier, rounder, with bigger eyes and friendlier expressions. So, I think when I told it I wanted 1980s comic book, I don't think that's the style I think it is. So, maybe that's the problem. God, why is this one? I mean, this is my 4K camera. So, let's maybe swap them around. No, that didn't really. There's got to be a setting that I'm missing. And I'll figure it out. Webcam, scale filtering, blending mode. I don't know what any of this means. Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. That's what happened. See, my TikTok looks great, though. I mean, I look good on that. Not too washed out. Oh, there we go. I mean, that's a... Let's see. So you can see the difference. Look at this one. And then we go down here. And you can see it did animate the people a little better. It made the faces a little less like... I don't know how to describe it. But it definitely... I would prefer this one, to be honest. Now, I need that at a 9:16. Let's pretend I'm going to do a reel with it. But focus on the king, jesters, and queen. And give me a monk. A drunk monk off to the side, right? So, guys, I'm going to show you. Okay, so we went from the super ultra realistic. I was like, nah, man, you know my art styles. Give me a 1980s comic book. And it gave me like this freaking Arthur type thing. And I said, I want it like my Joan of Arc one we created a few minutes ago. And so it really lightened up those faces. It really, I liked the way it did it. So I said, no, I'm going to use it for a reel. Make it a 9:16. Focus on the king, jesters, and queen. I didn't add any of the punctuation in there. I don't care. I've only got another 15 minutes before I've got to start checking on everything and get ready for raid. Try one more time to fix this lighting issue. Before I stream tonight on Twitch. I'm going to stream my raid tonight. I'm hoping this comes up with something soon. As you can see, like I said, sometimes it takes a while. I'm going to actually bring up my history conversation. So, great tools still require people. I've beaten that to a dead pulp. Be careful. AI is confident even when it's wrong. I mean, that is a fact. Even when it's wrong, it's confident. I wish I had some better examples to show you guys right now, but since this is a shorter reel, I'm not able... Sorry, I keep yawning. I'm not able to show you some of the mistakes. So, you know, you can't treat AI like a hit. Oh, I like that. Ah, look at the drunk monk there. Yeah, it's my buddy Thor. Yeah, I love that. And I'll show you guys at some point. Something I'll do at some point is I would take that and I would turn that into a video with Leonardo. I'd probably use, there's a few different models on Leonardo that I really like. There's one that's simple and it's cheap. Cost me about 50 to 60 cents an image to make into a 6-second video at 720p. I could make it 1080, but that triples the price. I can make it 10 minutes, but that quadruples the price, or 10 seconds, but that quadruples the price. But what I do is I'm real simple with it. Like I create pretty good prompts with it, but what I do is I'm just like, bring this to life simply, or bring this to life naturally. And what it would do is it would make them sway and drink from the cup and giggle. Slow and steady. You'll see a lot of my videos. Sometimes I have to speed them up. Sometimes I have to slow them down. You guys see that. But so, you know, AI is great at vibes, but history still needs verification. You need to give it that fine point. So, Ethan Malik said, you know, talks about using AI while keeping the human in the loop. He talks about that a lot. And I like that phrase because it puts responsibility back where it belongs. AI can help brainstorm, draft, fix, remix, and visualize, but a human has to have the final judgment at the output, and they have to have the input. So, here's a quick checklist for you guys that I worked on today. Who or what? Name the subject clearly. A Chauvin priest. A Rome street vendor. A medieval scribe. Not just some old-time person. I want a photo of an old-time person. Let's see what that comes up with while I'm reading this. What time period? So, let's say I was doing the Dancing Woman of Strasbourg, which was another one of my videos that I really liked. I had to tell it, this time period, make the streets look like this. Make the pub look like this. Make the music in the background look like this. And that's what it would do. But I had to guide it. And I got a whole bunch of weird things before I got the right thing. Repeat your visual brand words. Vintage illustrated poster. Painterly cartoon realism. Warm lighting. Bold outlines. You have to keep pounding it in the head what to make, right? And that's just how it is. So guys, in closing for my spiel that I've taken and beaten with a dead horse, the best prompt is not the longest prompt. In fact, the more you add to a prompt, the more confused you will make your AI. And that is not a good thing, friends. You do not want a confused AI. You want an AI, you want to give it a prompt, and also you'll find you confuse it like, I want it to be vintage 1980s comic book with bold lines and bright colors, and it's like, but those things don't go together. So it'll give you some hodgepodge mess of what it thinks. Once again, doesn't like to do stuff unless you give it a good example. You need to tell the AI what you want, why you want it. A lot of times I'll say for a reel, for this length, looking like this, what world it belongs in, and sometimes you need to tell it what mistakes to avoid. So, guys, I just want to show you, I told it to make me a photo of an old-time person, and that's what it came up with. Now, it's cool, but the problem is it took my one that I did, and you can see it starts drifting, like it'll give you this, which isn't what I ask at all. It just assumed based on the previous conversations, which can be a good or bad thing, but it changed the art style completely. It made my jester look like Harley Quinn, and I don't know. It's cool. My king looks evil. Look at that. His face is like, ha-ha! So AI can make the pictures, but humans make the meaning. I'm going to do more like this where I show people how AI can be great if you do it. So I put in here, because I was trying to write my stuff down, and I said I rant a lot. And I asked for some rant lines. The AI stole my brain. AI does not think for me. It gives me options and I decide what survives. That's true, right? So can't argue with it. Bad prompts make for bad art. A lazy prompt usually produces a lazy image. If you don't like this right here, old-timey person, I would not use this image for any video that I'm creating. I like it, but once again, it reminds me of that 1980s Arthur look. So if you guys want, I'm going to flash some sources over here for you guys. If you guys want to look up some of the people that I mentioned and whatnot. So sources, Andrew Ng quote, about look him up. He's cool. Fei Li, Sam Altman, great tools, OpenAI. I know he's got a lot of crazy stuff going on. So anyway, guys, I'm going to try to probably hop off TikTok. Really what I was doing right now was just trying to get some time in on TikTok, but also let my other people know I love them and find out how bad my camera looks, which is pretty bad. I look like Dr. Manhattan up there. I'm going to try to fix that before I raid tonight. I want you guys to know I will be back on raiding. I will be doing TikTok Studio. I'm not sure how that's going to look. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to be raiding World of Warcraft on TikTok Studio on one screen. Streamlabs part of that screen as well. And then this screen I'm going to be playing WoW, raiding with my buddies. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear Discord. I hope not, because my buddies on Discord are awesome, but we can get a little crazy. So I've got to figure that out. But anyway, guys, thank you. Thank you for your time. I hope you guys learned something. I hope that I can keep doing these and teaching people stuff. I do want to say thanks for riding this timeline with me. Come ride it again. New video Sunday. I might even have a new video out tomorrow. I haven't decided. I know I put a lot of my junk reels out today. I didn't feel like really creating. I did quick creates just to get some stuff out there. So go on my YouTube. Check out the videos I've created. Give me some comments, a like, a share. I would appreciate it. To my 2 viewers on different platforms that I've got right now. I love you guys. I love anybody who leaves comments. Even if you've already left a comment, feel free to find one you haven't. A lot of my videos are only 1 to 2 minutes. They don't take a lot of time. They're fun. You'll learn something cool. Give them a like, guys. Give them a try. I know they're AI. I know I don't look like a cartoon in real life. It's the art style I chose. I don't apologize. I have apologized. I don't apologize. I love the art style I chose. I love the videos I make, and I love the way I make them. And I'm going to keep doing it until I get to be a pro at it. I've run across a few TikTok channels where they are just straight AI. And I watched like 20 of their videos. I probably gave them a lot more watch time than anybody's has given me. And they're junk. They're garbage. The stories they tell are wrong. The words they use are wrong. You know, if you look at my Operation Paperclip one, I did use AI to smooth my voice out, and you can tell that. But it turned Dr. Von Braun, it turned his name into Von Braun or something the whole time, and it really kind of upset me to the point where I was almost, I didn't realize it until like, I already had like 300 views on it. And I was like, I should remake that. And then I was like, you know what? No. I mean, sometimes we make mistakes. But the thing is I researched that video. I created that video. I recorded all the audio. I just trusted Adobe Podcast to smooth my voice out more. And I went a little too, I slid the AI clear and background a little more than I should have. And it really boned me. And that can happen with AI. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother situation I'm going to show you guys at another time. We're going to do a live chat about that at some point. We're also going to re-live chat this probably in 2 or 3 months once I get a little better at it. I want to teach you guys what I know. I don't like to hide things. I want you guys to know that this process is work. And that's not even the half of it, guys. So making these pictures and videos is only a small piece. I spend hours a day trying to figure out how to word things to try to get me a few more views on my videos or a few more comments or a few more likes just to try to break that algorithm. The first hour of a video is its most important. Within that first hour, they send it to 100 people. And if it fails, some of my things have 120 views. Some of them have 5, 6, 700. Some of them have 16,000. It depends how that first hour is. So you go through and you rebrand them and try to get them to go again, but it never gives them that chance again. And all I can hope is that one day I have like 6 videos in a row that hit 40, 50,000 views right away. And people are like, this guy's cool. Like Ray William Johnson. And they go back and they just watch some of my older stuff. That's my hope, my goal. And a lot of that relies on my friends, my family, my people I know commenting, liking, helping me get out there. Sharing it with people they know that love history. That's what I need. So if you guys got time and you want to help me a lot, you don't have to. You don't owe me anything. If you know me in real life, you know that I probably go out of my way for you. I'd go out of my way for almost anyone, especially if they ask. But I don't expect it in return, but it would be much love. So I hope you guys brought snacks. Thanks for riding this timeline. I'm going to go check on the kids, make myself some more coffee for Ray tonight, and figure out this washed out look that I've got going on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. I seriously cannot stand it. I look so pale. Have a good night, friends. And to you who just joined, I'm sorry it's ending as you just joined. Rex Smith, you're a great person for staying and watching. I will be streaming some World of Warcraft tonight if that's your jam. If it's not your jam, I get it. Follow me. Give me a like, share. Go to some of my older videos. I know they're AI. That's the whole point of all of this. Or on YouTube, my live will be up. It's History Unbuttoned. This whole thing I just did in a more washed out version will be up there in about 2 hours, 3 hours when it processes. So if you want to see what I was talking about, go ahead. Give it a like. Give it some love. Thank you. Rex, I'm sorry you left, but thank you for sticking around for a minute. Peace. Okay, and same, only 66 viewers and 1 comment. I'm okay with that. Live achievement, I've reached 1,000 views between my few lives. So to you guys on YouTube, my faithful 1 viewer, who probably could be me or could be somebody else, I don't know. I love you. If you stuck around this